Welcome
to another episode
Driving to the Res
with your favorite hosts.
That would be us, Larry.
And Inelia.
Yeah.
Us.
Yep.
We're your favorite
hosts
on the planet.
Right there, right now, yes.
Right now, yeah. And forevermore. So
today's a call to action.
It is.
We've been experimenting a little bit ahead of the call of action.
We did.
So we don't just call to action on just random stuff. Mm-hmm. Right.
We tested it out first with a smaller group.
Yep. To see if there was an effect that,
was significant
enough to share.
Yes.
Yeah, because what we'd heard were some pretty extraordinary claims.
Mm-hmm.
And, an extraordinary claim is fine if it's something you can, extraordinary claims are fine just all by themselves.
Oh, themselves, yeah. But I like to test things anyways.
Right. And
yeah, before I recommend them. Or,
if you're going to recommend an extraordinary claim, then you want to make sure that extraordinary claim has some validity.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
At least validity that you can verify. Maybe not even just singularly.
All right. Yeah. So this episode and this newsletter basically is a call to action to test an experiment, do a global experiment. We have audience all over the world, right? And we'd like to do an experiment on this thing that we came into awareness from all those locations at the same time.
Right, and that's the other part. That's one of the things that makes it
interesting,
clinking your attention.
Yes.
Part of our prime purpose, right? We've talked about prime purpose before. Be your true frequency and have that reflected back to you in experiences of that frequency, right? And when we talk about true frequency, most of us listening here, well, pretty much all are a high frequency, light peoples.
Yes.
So when you're being your true frequency, it's pretty light. And when you start having those experiences reflected back to you, that's a pretty nice, place.
Yes.
Pretty nice experience. I mean, we really like that.
We do.
And in this case, some of the things that get reflected back to you are ways to create the environment that you're supported in too, right?
Yes.
Which sometimes tends to be thought of as a passive place where world molds to my whim, right?
Right.
I like that idea, trust me.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind just sitting on the beach and let the sunshine be exactly the right temperature and the breeze from the ocean just the right amount of cool and the sun just the right amount of, rays to give me just the right amount of bronze, of course.
Yes.
And just the right person bringing just the right coconutty, pineapple-y banana smoothie drink just at the right moment.
Yes.
I like those things too, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to, pick the right spot on the beach.
Yes.
And the right day for that beach.
Yes.
And you have to have that DoorDash thing that brings you pina colada banana smoothies. Where you push the button.
And pina coladas alcoholic?
No, I just made a banana smoothie with pineapple in it.
All right.
Yeah. So
because I don't suggest people think or want to drink alcohol as part of their idyllic environment because I don't recommend alcohol for people. We've looked at it and we've seen it, perceived it and experienced it, and it's not a good thing for anyone.
We have tested it out.
We have tested it out.
One of those other tested it out. So
yes.
I guess what I was trying to get at, though, wasn't so much that you should order a pina colada with rum in it. I meant a banana smoothie with pineapple in it and coconut milk. Just a yummy thing.
Yeah.
But that you might not singularly be passive in the experience. You might actually be a part of the process
yes.
and orchestrating it to come out and to be.
Yeah,
and
man.
You allow the environment to come with you, but you connect with it too.
Yes.
Right? So you're not just a passive
passenger.
Experiencer. You are also the creator, the co-creator.
Yeah,
okay.
Totally.
So let's talk about the article you wrote.
And be part of the orchestration for that beautiful day.
Yeah,
right?
be part of the orchestration, exactly.
Yeah. Let me read a little bit of the newsletter.
Okay.
Larry and I recently learned about something that a lot of people already knew about and have been doing for some time now.
Who knew?
I know, not me. And I've looked at a lot of stuff around this topic.
I know since the first day I ever saw you writing something.
Yes.
You wrote about this.
Yes, I did, actually. Back in God knows when, 2006 or 7 or something, I wrote a book called Interview with an Alien.
Yep.
And in that book, it talked about chemtrails.
Yes.
Yes. So, let's continue with the newsletter.
Okay.
Vaporizing or misting distilled white vinegar outside. Or actually, some people are using cleaning vinegar, which is a less diluted version.
Yeah, you can use varieties. It's acetic acid at a 5 to 10% concentration.
Yeah.
That becomes vinegar.
To neutralize chemtrail clouds.
Right, that's a pretty
haze.
extraordinary claim. I mean...
And I don't know who put it together, but it's pretty extraordinary.
If it worked.
Yeah, we heard lots of people like swearing for it. So we decided, we're going to try it out.
Right. And it was such an extraordinary claim.
Yes.
But the source of the claim was one that I trusted.
Exactly.
And so it's like,
yes.
well, if he's saying that it worked for him and he forgot about it, now that he's reminded of it, it's like, of course.
Of course.
And he went and did it like crazy.
Yes.
He had been complaining about chemtrails. They were getting sprayed like bugs, is his words.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why didn't I remember? Well, I did remember. He has a community, and the community has a community memory, and they remembered for him.
Exactly, yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Well, we heard it. Mm-hmm. We've heard of devices and things like this before.
We heard about the method in a podcast, then in another, all within a week. The most recent was episode 502 of Crow 777, speaking with Amanda Vollmer.
Right.
I've never heard of Amanda Vollmer before, which sounds really interesting, and I was going to follow up on some of her stuff that she does.
Yep.
Anyways, when I researched the method on the internet, I found laughable videos and a lot of people calling those who did it quacks and other unkind names. Weirdly enough, none of the podcasts or articles that we had come across while listening to our favorite interviewers and scientists appeared in those search results.
I tried to sneak up on the search, and I just did it. What is the chemical response of... I mean, I just typed every which way I could think of to type it, to get it to go to there. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the closest I got was if you boil vinegar in your house, then it gets rid of the bad smells. Or the Chinese like to use it to antibiotic their spaces. Or if you do it, it's going to make a concentrated acid solution that'll burn right through your pan. I heard that. Mm-hmm. Or... the fumes are poisonous. I heard that. But I also heard it's absolutely harmless. My mom's been doing it every week for the last, I don't know, as long as I've known her, cleaning out the coffee pot. So it's like...
There's so much out there.
Not one tiny little whisper of
chemtrails.
It affects chemtrails or clouds or the moisture or the atmosphere in any way whatsoever.
Right. To me, this was doubly interesting. It was also interesting
the absence of it, right?
Yes,
the absence of anything.
Both the way in which the people were making fun of these videos.
Those were everywhere.
Trolls everywhere, and the videos were the worst ones that you could possibly imagine somebody making. And then also the unkind names, right? Mm-hmm. But also the research, the results from the search. Anyways, to me this was doubly interesting. It was also interesting that the people calling those who tried it out, kind names, didn't try it out or test the method out themselves. So they just went out and started insulting people, but they didn't even try it out.
Even if even if it sounds ridiculous, I mean, the source of the claim is not ridiculous.
No.
So give it at least the benefit of let's try it. I mean, I've heard of more silly things. How hard is that? Let's boil a little bit of vinegar and see if anything happens.
Yeah. They just troll the channels and post with similar identical comments to invalidate the method and make fun of the videos and photos and articles.
Yeah, yep. And many people, I'm going to say probably a lot of people respond to that kind of ridicule as well. I'm not going to be ridiculous. I wouldn't even think of trying it.
Yes, that's what those. I think they're clearly It says, this clearly indicates to me that the nasty boys were trying to stop the method from becoming popular.
Right.
Because, the natural response of a person when they hear somebody else being made fun of is like, I'm not going to try that. That's
They're going to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then what'll happen? Jeez, that'd be
and me
terrible.
trying it is ridiculous to myself. You know, I'm not going to be so stupid trying that out.
It's like, what, am I going to fall for this one?
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
First of all, you're going to fall for chemtrails, and then you're going to fall for boiling vinegar to fix it.
Yes.
What kind of ridiculous are you talking? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
The people who I heard speak about it were super intelligent, able, capable individuals, not quacks at all.
No, not quacks.
No. At our online community sites, we sent out our homework to do the experiment and see what happened. We had before and after photos that were very, very impressive. The grey-white milky fog that covered the skies was gone. The sky would either become deep blue, or if it was originally cloudy, it would turn the clouds a bright white or deep grey and start raining.
Yeah, I noticed that rain came.
Yeah, one person reported that there had been no rain in her area for a long time, and after she did the experiment, rain clouds formed and it rained. It's almost like getting our weather back, right? As it should be. The report showed no more milky, high-altitude fog, and this happened within an hour or two of each person doing the experiment, which is not something I actually haven't seen. Well, let's see. I personally hadn't seen the sky to be that deep blue in a long time. I remember thinking about that for like years now. It's like when I was a kid, you look up at the sky and it was a really deep blue. A deep blue. Even in England, you know, when the clouds parted and the sun came out, the sky was deep blue. Anyways, I haven't seen that for a long time until the other day when we did this experiment. In the horizon, the chemtrails and milky mist was still there. To me, this means that the effects of this experiment is localized. The clear skies were huge, but in the distance, the effects of chemtrails were still visible.
Do you remember that one that we looked at above the Shaman Shack where the jet went and it went above us and then it stopped?
No, that was when we were on a
And then
trip
it went again. No,
in
that
Oregon.
wasn't. No. Oh, that was
Yes,
you're right. That was at the
yes,
Rock, Smith Rock.
Yes, Smith Rock, yeah. One of the scientists who did the experiment speculated about the reaction of acidic nature of the vinegar with the alkaline nature of heavy metals in the chemtrails. Another, a chemist who had researched in depth, explained it is an ionic hydrogen chain reaction. I don't know what that means, but that's what they said. Whatever mechanism is at play, our call to action is observational in nature.
We're just going to observe.
Call to action. And this is you.
This is
your job. Okay, it's not that hard. Use the method most suitable to your skill and living conditions. If you are in an apartment, for example, it might not be suitable to make a campfire.
Probably.
Right? So 1, get a gallon of distilled white vinegar and a pot that you can hold it to boil, or a black pan to allow the sun to evaporate, or an electric kettle or a humidifier.
Something.
2, boil or mist or evaporate it outdoors. First part, you can use a kettle... Wait.
Yeah, boil, mist, or evaporate it outdoors. I mean, I think that's pretty clear.
Not necessarily.
Outside.
Yes, outside.
With, you can see the sky,
yes,
probably. And imagine there's a cone. You're starting with the ammonia that you're in, and the cone goes
not
up
ammonia, honey. It's not ammonia.
That's right. A vinegar.
Yes.
Imagine a vinegar.
Very important. Do not boil ammonia.
Okay. Boil vinegar.
Vinegar. That's the 5th or 10th time you said that in our podcast.
So you take your vinegar and you boil it, and imagine there's like a little cone of influence from there up into the sky, right? Mm-hmm. So if there's something in the way, maybe it messes with it. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But we did it in our experiment with a clear view of the sky.
Yes. Anyways, for this part, you can use a kettle with about 2 inches of vinegar and refill it as it boils off. And it's like...
I just filled the whole thing up.
The kettle?
Oh, not the kettle. You're right.
No, the kettle, people having an issue because it boils over when you use a kettle.
That's right, because that boils
and we did
crazy.
too. That different day we used a kettle and it just boils like crazy and it boiled over. Although 2 people in our experiment group, the first one, they used the cleaning vinegar, which is more concentrated, and they didn't find that it boiled over at all. It just evaporated, which was kind of cool.
The acetic acid boils at like 240 degrees-ish, and water is at 212. So it must have something to do with how much
of each
of the acids in there compared to water.
I think so, yeah. Okay, so you use a hot plate and pot to boil it in.
Yeah, I made a little campfire.
Yeah. We made a campfire to boil the pot. Be careful as the fire burns down, it doesn't spill it. Use a humidifier.
I don't know if people know what those are, maybe?
Humidifier?
Yeah, the only one I saw we had in Alaska, it was quite a big machine.
Oh, really?
Oh, maybe they're talking about like a mister. Psst.
Yeah,
put the stuff in
humidifier.
and then it sprays it out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, it's a mister, the humidifier. So when I used to visit Tucson is very, very dry. Some days you'd wake up in humidity air like measurement thingy. Like it was like 0 or something. Humidity
no
in the
water
air.
in the air.
I saw really straight hair in Tucson, like very, very kind of fashionable at the time. But anyways, you buy something called a humidifier. They're not expensive. They usually sell them at chemist stores or supermarkets with the chemist area. And you put your liquid in there, turn it on, and the mist comes out into... You can use one of those, right?
Okay, vaporizer kind of thing.
Yeah, a vaporizer too. You can use that, one of those. I think vaporizers use as heat, while the humidifier, I don't know what they use. Like a fan or I don't know how it works. But the steam, the vapor that comes out of it is not hot. All right, so you put it out in the hot sun, or you can put it out in the hot sun in a black pan and let it evaporate. In other words, you want to make small particles of vinegar lift in the air through vapor or mist.
Yeah.
All right, and 3, take a before and after photograph and post it on our Telegram group.
That'd be great.
Yes. Do this once a day for a week if possible. If not, then once a week this week is excellent. Once this week is excellent. Yay! And I'm looking forward to seeing all of those photos.
So if you have plans to like start it to boil in the morning and then check it 3 or 4 hours later and take another picture, that's cool. If you want to do a control experiment, you can take a picture when you would be planning to boil it and then wait a few hours and take another picture so you can see what happens naturally in the day and compare it to what happens when you boil vinegar in the day. And, you know, we're trying to remove as many variables as possible, but obviously day to day it's going to be different. We've had our experience of we boiled the vinegar when it was cloudy and rain. Oh, it wasn't raining, but it was cloudy.
It was cloudy and it was that foggy milky,
cloud.
nasty stuff that you can't even see the clouds properly. So
yeah, and it came out to thin the clouds and started to rain and the sun popped out.
Yeah.
And things got brighter.
The clouds were so bright.
Right. And so don't be afraid if it's raining or something, you can go ahead and do it.
Yes.
And if it's cloudy, it's fine to go ahead and do it. And if it's blue skies, it's fine to go ahead and do it. And if you see them spraying or what looks like they're spraying, it's great to do it. All of the things, give it a try. The only issue that there will be with your control experiment is that if you have friends who are boiling next to you, it's going to mess up your control.
Oh, that they're doing it too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, you can use your memory.
Yes.
What's it like? Do you remember what it's like in the day, you know?
You know, like my memories, like I look outside and I see that like milky, gray, foggy, white kind of thingy all over the sky. You can't really see the deep blue sky. And the other day when we did it, it was only like, we did it once when it was cloudy, and the clouds became really bright. And then we did it one day when it was just chemtrails. The planes were going over like crazy. There was even circles as they turned around and came back.
Yeah.
In the horizon. Lots and lots. The whole place was covered. We did it then too. And on that day, the skies turned that deep blue. It was beautiful. I haven't seen that deep blue for a long time. Now the people have been doing, mixing it with the little metal things you stick, the cloud busters, you know.
Yeah.
The organic cloud busters or other things, other technologies. And I would say for this experiment, just stick with the vinegar to see what happens, right? And then, of course, we can do combine them and try different things and see what's more effective.
Yep.
Yeah.
What we were listening to with Amanda, I think she had some form of coil. What's that, gardening? With electroculture?
Yeah, I think so.
They have coiled up copper wire in their garden.
Yes.
And that's supposed to, she say, affect the chemtrails in her experience too. And
I don't know.
I know we had one
behind it.
of our community had a cloud buster, and he put it out with the vinegar boiling.
So I don't know the chemtrail busters. A lot of people are having good results with that. I don't know the mechanics of how it works, but I do know that incident that you mentioned when we were traveling last week, and we went to Smith Rock in Oregon. Yep. We were sitting down and we saw this massive chemtrail plane going past right above us.
Just puffing like crazy.
And just as it was starting to come into our cone of field above us, the chemtrail vanished, even though the plane was still going. And then it went on to the other side, and their
cone
chemicals,
of influence, I guess you would say.
Their cloudy chemtrails continued.
Started again.
So right above us, there was a section of no chemtrail, which was kind of cool. And that, I don't know how that works either. I don't know how, so some things are energetic and co-creation, energy, and all the things. But I know that the other day, didn't matter that we were here, those guys were covered in those lines, and airplanes were coming up, turning around. You could see the circle, and then going for another go. Oh, the sky was really covered. Then we did the vinegar experiment, and actually we didn't get to boil much of it at all, because we used the kettle and it keeps boiling over, and then we put it in a little pot, and then we had to leave, so we had to switch it off. So overall, I think probably about an inch, I don't know, maybe 8 ounces of it got vaporized into the sky. But this blue that came out above us was amazing, and all the lines, you could see the lines all over in the horizon. You could see the lines still there, but like a big circle around us was deep blue. Yeah.
Which it's pretty. It's almost like poetic justice, because think how much it costs to have a plane spitting out that stuff, whether it's in the fuel or whatever I don't even know. I have no idea whether they have a special plane to do it.
I bet they're going to make distilled vinegar illegal now, huh?
Well, they're probably going to have a shortage of it.
The price will go up or whatever. Yeah.
But it's acetic acid. You can buy it dried and mix it with water. I mean, it's really? Such a common...
Wow, I didn't know
such
that.
a common thing. It's like...
I didn't know that.
It might be like the grocery store version is a little bit harder to get, because all of a sudden 20 people are buying it instead of one, and you're buying 6 gallons instead of one,
Yes.
So the demand will be up higher in your area, because I mean, how much vinegar's on the shelf there? Like 6 gallons maybe?
Right.
And we bought like 6 gallons or 8 gallons. Yeah. So it could be you have little shortages here and there, but for a long-term thing, no, it's like dirt. It would be easy to have plenty of it.
Okay, good.
But that would be the solution to the problem. I mean, that little bit of boiling vinegar costs you $1 or something.
And millions and millions of dollars.
Covers millions of square miles worth of
millions and millions of dollars used to chemtrail us.
Do it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
All you got to do is have you and your friends boil some vinegar.
Yes.
Every now and again.
Actually, I was thinking at least if you can do once this week.
Yeah.
Right, if you can do at least once this week, that would be great.
Yep.
We plan to do it every day. And I was thinking we'll do it until the skies become blue, and then save the rest for the next day. It might take 2-3 gallons, or it might take half a gallon, or maybe 8 ounces, or I don't know how long it's going to take. But when it's sunny, right, and we get all the chemtrails happening in the day and night over here right now. Yeah, that's my plan. And I'd like to invite everybody to do it that way too. But if all you can do is just get a little bottle from your local store
and boil a bit of it.
Yeah, boil it in your kettle outside. That's enough. That's good. That's what we like to see. Cool.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see the results.
Me too.
Especially with lots of people doing it, right?
Yeah. Now, if you want a further exploration of this, what we're going to talk about further, the second part of this podcast is on our Subscribe Star channel.
Oh, that's right.
And we usually have Ilia and Adelina
Something,
join us
they
with
can
our amazing questions.
Then they can tend to be a little skeptical of these little...
Not necessarily, no.
Occasionally skeptical of the, science, to make sure that the science falls through and things like that.
Oh, that hasn't been my experience, but maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. And so we invite you to join us for the second part of this podcast. Go to the subscribestar.com website, search for Inelia, and you'll find us there.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. And just for the second hour, it's like $8 a month or something, super cheap.
Yeah.
And you get all of the second hours on the podcast.
Yep. Plus a once a week after show.
Oh, that's right. There's like an after party for the podcasts there too.
So you gather up and have a chat and meet people who've listened to it and talk to each other. I'm usually there. Ashley's there.
Yes.
Usually a handful of people, 5, 10, 15 people. We kind of just talk about what we talked about.
Yeah.
And share our experiences. Yeah.
Also, a great opportunity to add your own questions and ideas for future podcasts.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes. All right. See you there.
Okay. Well, we'll see you there and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yes.
Or actually a
seconds.
few seconds.
Tung.
One.
There it is.
Is it? It's not yet, honey.
No.
It's
Okay.
now. It's now.
Okay.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.